Hello. We are back on another session of Shit Happens. Yo, I'm trying to be positive today and stay happy, but my aunt passed away yesterday. And the person who's about to come on the stage made me cry so much at Podfest. So I hope she doesn't make me cry today because I can't cry. I got shit to do. It's funny how life happens, right? You really wanna grieve and be in that space, but you also gotta be an adult and make shit happen. So shit is happening. But everybody, my favorite person, one of my favorite person. Oh my god! I just saw what she's wearing, and I'm like, oh my god! She literally came in here to make me cry, y'all. I don't know if I'm gonna survive this without crying, but I don't know who doesn't know this person, because if you don't know this person, I don't know what you're doing with your life. So allow me to introduce the one and only producer Jay. Hey!
Yay! Hey,
Oh my!
girl. What
Oh
is
my
up?
God!
Why is it
I'm
coming out blurry? Let me see if I can get myself to come in clear. What's going on with my camera? Hello, camera. You're failing today. Well, I guess I'm just blurry, but people can't see. But it does have your logo. This isn't just Eddie. There you go. And this isn't just Eddie. Talk S with Paula hat. This was given to me by the Paula herself. So, girlfriend, you can't tell me not to make you cry when you made me cry. Okay, it's this back and forth we have, and it's called love.
It sure is. And Jemmy, those are like the original first ones. Like I was doing a new match and I brought the new ones at Podfest. And me and you, this Podfest, we really just had so like every time we were together, it was so emotional. Like
Yes.
kept on being emotional. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. First my award, then our speeches, then Patrick, then it was just then Lee. It was just
It
full
was
on.
nonstop. It was nonstop in such a beautiful way. I think this Podfest was absolutely it was the best in every level, including like the most emotional on
I
every
swear,
level.
I
On
swear,
every
on
level.
every level, on
Mm.
every level. And as I was hugging you there and saying like, oh my God, this is the last time I'm seeing it. Something in my heart was just like, she gotta have this ad. She gotta have this ad.
Oh
And it's
man.
funny because we were going through that and Jordan is just there laughing at us like, why y'all crying? Like what is there to cry about?
Oh my gosh, so much. But it was just overwhelming. It was just overwhelming. And I got off stage and I fell in your arms and cried. And then you got off stage and ran over to my arms and cried. And then you gave me your hat. And then I cried some more. So I owe you one. I think officially I owe you one. So get ready
Not
to cry.
not
Sorry, not sorry.
today, not today, not on live. How are you doing, beautiful?
I am doing so well. Fighting a little bit of a migraine that's trying to happen because I've been burning like every end of the candle you can imagine as I'm launching Power Moms Network the last couple of weeks. But hopefully after today it'll be a little bit calmer so I can get rid of this migraine. But other than that, I'm doing great. I'm doing absolutely great. How about you?
I am fabulous. No migraines because I battle with migraines. So I feel for people when they're going through migraines because when I have them, I am ready to chop my head off and like,
Yes.
God, maybe I don't need this head. Take it,
Thank you.
because
Yes.
but I'm still high on the way, and I think that's why I love podcasts, right? You
Yeah.
get exhausted while you're there, but when you come back, you still have this energy because so many people have
Yes.
poured into you, have
Yes.
motivated you, have
Yes.
I've seen you. Sometimes we lack. What's the word? Oh my God, I keep always forgetting this word. Assurance or something like when you're
Yeah.
doing all these things and
Validation.
yeah, but you got validated. So you come in with all this energy. I gotta get this shit. I'm on the right track. I'm
Yes.
doing the damn thing.
Yes.
So I came with that energy. Hence, shit happens. Ended up happening in February, and then I moved. I moved to my new place, but for some reason lately, starting yesterday, my Wi-Fi has been acting up. That's why I've been going on live on
Oh
my
my goodness.
phone. I
It better
know
not it better not cause any other issues for you. I'm putting that into the universe. I'm gonna have to talk with your Wi-Fi.
I
I'll just
swear. So I stop. So what I do now, I use my data on my phone and I put do not disturb and I go on my phone without the Wi-Fi. Because yesterday it kept on breaking and I don't like it. Like when you are literally at the point where you're listening to somebody
Yes,
motivate,
so
inspire, and then the Wi-Fi is going. I'm like, no, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. So thank God I can jump on with my phone, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yay, technology when it works.
Thank God. Like that's the one thing we have a problem with. I tell people like you would think like even if you're a podcaster and you be prepared as much as you want, technology will always seem to fail you if it wants to. Like there's no fighting technology failure.
No, it just laughs at us. It just laughs at us and keeps going.
It's like, oh my God, it's so cute how you did all your check-ins and your setup and shit. But I'm still gonna make it hard for you just one time.
And every podcaster knows the joy of losing a recording for one reason or another. Sometimes due to user error, because I mean, I have certainly forgotten to press record. It's been many years, but I did one time or two times forgot to press record. It happens. It happens. But when the tech fails,
All
that's when
this. Unmute.
Oh my God. You need to make a line of signs for podcasters to hold up for their guests. And that needs to be the pilot one. That's hysterical. And then put them on Amazon. They'll go like hotcakes. You're on mute. Wrap it up.
I must start doing whenever we end up doing our Podfest Zooms, right? Because people always come in because you can see them talking, but they forget to unmute. Unlike Clubhouse, they can't see. There's no video. So I'm gonna be at Podfest Zoom like this. Shout out to the Paloozas who made this. This was so nice. I was like, I have to take it home with me.
Oh, that's amazing. That's where you got it? That's amazing.
Yeah.
Love them.
They did their advertisements at the back.
So smart.
And people needed this because he was hot, like in those hallways.
It was so hot in those rooms and everything. I was like, oh my God, I'm dying. But man, all that means, you know what that means? That there were more people there for loving. That's all that meant. That's all that meant.
and it's true because as I'm looking at people posting on the Facebook group and stuff, or I'm seeing pictures that on Instagram, I'm like, this person was there. They were there. Like I know, and at that point, I've seen so many people. I've hugged so many people. I've had but then it's like I also missed so many people. I'm like, oh my God.
Let me tell you. So Jessica Kupferman from She Podcast, I was trying to find. I found a telephone in the bathroom, right? And I was trying to locate whoever it was. So I was talking to Lakita at registration, and all of a sudden I get a big old smooch, a huge smooch on my cheek. And I turn around and it's Jessica. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I can't wait to catch up with you, but I just got to find this person's phone. I never spoke to her again.
At least you got to see her. I didn't see Jessica. I didn't see Elsie. I'm like, I know they were there because she was happening.
She was a blur. I saw her in passing. We're like, mwah, and she was like, mwah, and then that was it. That was it. You made it into the highlight reel, though. I got lots of Paula time. You made it into my highlight reel, so that was awesome.
I always try to make sure I jump in everybody's pictures. That's the thing. Like I'm like, when you're posting these pictures, I know my face will be somewhere there.
You are not. No one can ever accuse you of being shy. That is not a thing that Paula is. You couldn't win the award you won by being shy. That's not how that works.
But I can't believe somebody lost their phone. There was this other guy. Shout out to Jacob from Podflow. He literally lost his entire backpack with a laptop and it was big and heavy. Nikita found it and they held it when he came to the front end to ask for it. I'm like, how do you lose an entire bag? It's like Podfest, man. Podfest.
I'm telling you, I can't say anything because
you lost your suitcase. Did you lose your suitcase?
2 stories, and they happened from the same trip. This is all true. I went to Mom 2.0 at Scottsdale over the summer. And while I was there, I was enjoying this woman's Sarah Dean. I was enjoying her presentation so much. I ran up and talked to her afterwards, and I left all my crap at my table, just walked right out. I was happy as could be and walked right out. And then it was like an hour or two later, I'm like, wait a minute. and then I get a phone call and it's Sarah, and she's like, did you leave your stuff? So the presenter had to also play Jemmy's babysitter and collect all of my things and get it to me later. And then, oh, but wait, there's more. Then, so I fly back home, right? And Patrick, my boyfriend Patrick, and my son Jordan are on the way to come pick me up at the airport. So I stop at this little cafe. I was exhausted. Stop at this little cafe right on the top of the escalator before you go down. So I get my coffee. I go down the escalator. Da, da, da. I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, she's gonna be here any minute. All right, maybe I should start collecting my. Oh, damn it! Where's my bag? So I'm freaking out. I run to the bathroom. It's not there. I run back upstairs to the cafe and I see it. And the lady's like, I was just about to call security. She's like, it would have been a whole thing. But I'm like, I gotta wait. I'm gonna wait for 5 more minutes.
Because it's the airport, you know.
And I won't even tell you the story because it's live. I will tell you this after we go off the air of the story that I had to ask for my bag back at the airport from perhaps the Broward County Sheriff's Department and their canine dog. But that's a whole nother story.
What was in the bag? The canine? What was it?
Thank God I had already removed what would have gotten me in trouble.
Well, people, welcome to Shit Happens.
Oh, it was happening that day, girlfriend. It was happening that day. And I couldn't let it happen because I was getting ready to take a flight to meet my client to do a whole entire proposal for someone that he was trying to bring on as his client, and I was doing the presentation. So if I went without my bag, I would have had like the clothes on my back, which were a t-shirt and jeans, and walking into my potential client's office. Yeah, it was a whole thing.
This is to Patrick. Patrick, start putting bells on Jamie's bag and stuff. Because when you walk, you'll hear the bells. So when
next time you see me, I can have one of those leashes. He's gonna have me on a leash. Because
oh my God, he did lose you. He lost you. I remember I was walking right next to you guys, and I left you. Next thing I see Patrick by himself. I'm like, where's Jen? He's like, I don't know. I lost her. I'm like, how did you lose that?
Paula, I actually just thought of another time. So it was another time we were flying back from New York and we're outside waiting for the Uber to pick us up from the airport. And so we walk over to where the Uber is supposed to get us. And the Uber pulls up and I go to get my bag and it's not there. And I'm like, damn it, I left it outside of the airport. So I had to run back hoping it was still there. Now, meanwhile, I have a bad lung. So like I ended up inducing an asthma attack. It was a whole thing. I have a problem. You know what? The leash doesn't need to be on me. The leash needs to be connecting me to my bag. That's the solution.
Yeah, you know how now they have those attachable suitcases where you start to stick them together and you pull one? We're gonna make like attachable something for you and your suitcase and your luggage.
Yes, or a beep alarm. If there's too much distance between me and the bag,
it starts going off. You know how those old people wear the bracelets for like when they're in travel. We're gonna put one on you for when you're 1 mile, is it a mile or whatever distance, like a bit distance away from your luggage, it beeps like so loud that you start freaking out everybody.
That's what I need. That's the only solution. I think we just figured it out. I'm learning about myself today, Paula.
Oh my God. Oh, I'm learning so much about you right now in this 12 minutes. I'm like, damn, I'm never traveling with you.
Learned that Jemmy is truly a hot mess. That's what you just learned.
Yeah, I'm never. If we're ever traveling together, I'll be like, can I meet you there? Because I do not want to go through this. Jemmy has to start finding our shit.
And that'll be a very smart move on your part.
Well, what a way to start this. I love it. Hopefully me and Jimmy will be able to stop laughing throughout this and actually have a conversation, because we laugh and cry a lot. So good luck to y'all.
Yeah.
But Jim, I actually wanted to talk to you today about something specifically that came out from your speech at Podfest, your gratitude ceremony. So I love, that's one thing I never want to miss a Podfest gratitude ceremony. It's just nice hearing stuff.
It's my favorite part of the whole thing.
And I was very proud of learning about your journey with Jordan and until where you've come. Being a single mother is not an easy thing, especially with
Mhm.
all the shit you also do. And you have raised an incredible boy. Like
Aw,
that
thank
boy just likes
you.
my hot top. And I love how he's very opinionated and straightforward and like I just he just makes me happy. Like every time I see him, it just
Yes.
makes me
Let me tell you, last year he was like, I'm gonna go see Paula. Like he was making it, he loved going over to see you. It was hilarious. You were like his new best friend. So yeah.
And it's funny because last year between Jordan and Adam Shibri brought his daughter Hannah, who
Uh-huh.
also as Anna was working around last year, I was volunteering at the reception desk.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when the daughter met me, she and then she was a little bit shyish, but I've been a fan of her since because Adam
Well, it's
uses
not every day unicorn. You had like purple hair, right?
I had yeah, I had blue hair, like
Blue
blue
hair.
hair in the car, and I'm small, so the doctor was kind of confused. Like I know I just came because she had just come from Disney. What is like? Is this another type of this? And by the way, because Podfest can be another type of Disney because the fashion in itself of Podfest,
Oh
I
my
love
gosh.
that. I love
Yes.
how people just are truly themselves. You get to see all types of fashion at Podfest. So then later on, Adam texted me and was like, where are you? Anna wants to hang out. I was like, for real? Because I was really trying to get
Aw.
her attention. But then, when a kid is in a new area, new people, sometimes, not Jordan, but she was a little bit shy in the beginning. So then we were hanging out. And then this kid goes, are you 8? You look like you're 8. And I'm like, I can be 8 today. That's fine. So she made me do some flip flops. We made a music video jumping around. Like even Adam was like, "What did you make?" Like my daughter can't stop talking about you. Like I took her to Disney World, but our entire trip is Paula, Paula,
Paula,
Paula, Paula.
Paula, like I
I'm
said, you're
like,
not shy. You're not shy. I love it. I love it.
like I can mingle with everybody, although because I also the way I talk, shit. Sometimes parents are a little bit. So I really want to babysit my daughter, but I'm good with kids. Okay, I've been babysitting all my life. Plus,
Right
sometimes
with
I
you.
feel like I'm still a kid myself. But I wanted to talk about you really an empowering force. Like you will
Mm,
literally empower anybody who's been around you, anybody who's listened to you talk on Clubhouse or anybody like, and that's why you are most sorted. Like everywhere I see when people are like, "Oh, Jenny's gonna be the host," I'm like, I understand
oh,
why. I get it. You just use this light of joy, but so I want to talk about
mhm.
your journey because right now you're working on Power Moms Network, and that's a powerful thing because um, most moms don't get the recognition they really
Mhm,
deserve, you
mhm.
know, because you're a mom. Like the society has made it that oh, I was a mom, you gotta do that. That's a
Yeah,
mom thing. It's like no, I
yeah,
didn't get this child by myself. Like
yeah.
it's not just me. And why should it all be on moms? Why do dads, father figures get to have business, get to have support and all that? But when it comes to a mom starting something, it's always like, but you are a mom, so like
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
So I want to talk
Yeah.
about your journey into that. Like, what made you like decide to have the Power Moms Network? What brought you into that?
Oh, wow, that's a great question. So over the years, so I started my business and then I started my kid about 18 months later. And so maybe it was the other way around. It's the other way around. I started my kid and then the business. And so I've pretty much always been a single mom and entrepreneur at the same time. And I wouldn't trade it for the world because I had a terrible experience, series of terrible experiences working in the corporate environment. So I wouldn't change what I've done for the world, but it has been hard, super, super hard because yeah, like pretty much all the responsibility of raising Jordan has been on my shoulders to such an enormous degree. There's not to get into details or whatever that I don't think Jordan would be comfortable with me sharing, but he had some trauma, a lot of trauma that he went through. And so it was it was a combination of just being there for him and creating safe spaces for him, of encouraging him and building him up and healing him, and but also helping him see like what a wonderful human he is and all these things. So there was a lot. And then when the pandemic hit, it was, I mean, it was tenfold, because all of a sudden, not only am I in literally, as my show used to be called, business from the bedroom, building my business in my bedroom, but then now in the next room is my son trying to get his schoolwork done in third grade, also trying to figure out how to use a computer to do it. It's like, it was a mess. So I had to like do that and also teach. And so it has been so hard. But along the way, I have met some incredible women who have, in one way, shape, or form, mentored me. I immediately think of my friend Michelle Talbert. I think of my friend Cindy Metzler, wonderful women who've been ahead of me down the road, and I've been able to watch them and learn from them and call them when I needed to. So I had that on one side. And then from my clients' perspective, a lot of my clients happen to also be women and also be moms. And so I could see like certain parallels, right? Like certain things that we have in common, that we're all going through, certain common struggles and things. But it still felt very nebulous. Like I knew I would want to do something with women, but forming a women's network, as great of as those are, just didn't seem like it was defined enough for me. Like it wasn't, didn't feel like that was my calling. It needed to be something else or more, and I couldn't figure that out. But when I went to Mom 2.0, which I mentioned earlier, where Sarah Dean found all my crap, when I went there, all of a sudden, instead of being at a conference surrounded by podcasters of all kinds of shapes and sizes and backgrounds, I was with all moms of all different shapes, sizes, and backgrounds. And to see as crystal clear, like in my face, that we all share the same issues. Number one, we feel like oftentimes we lose ourselves in our motherhood. You know, there are too many times. I was just joking. Actually, I mentioned Jessica Kufferman before. Jessica, I actually just interviewed her yesterday for Power Moms podcast. And one of the first things before we started talking, we were both like, before we started recording, we were both talking about what a miracle it was that, yeah, we both showered that day. And so I brought it up. I'm like, as moms, sometimes we feel like, don't even know. Like, what did we do? Like, we don't know.
Did they
Did we
shower
eat? Oh my God.
today?
It's like we lose ourselves completely. And I realized, in looking back in my own journey, I don't think I could have done this if I wasn't a mom. And the reason I say that, not because women who aren't mothers aren't strong. Me personally, a huge part of my motivation to keep going and to not just settle into mediocrity and dealing with the corporate crap that I was dealing with, everything from sexual harassment and everything you can imagine, just deciding not to like give up the entrepreneurial roller coaster and just go back, was my son. Being motivated to be an example for him about how to pursue your dreams, and that you can and you should try, and it's hard and everything, but it's worth it. And then also, I wanted to be able to be there when he needed, like for school events, or he didn't feel well or needed to be home. So it was a lot of that, and I realized that that was a very common thread, with all the other women there building whatever else that they were building, some entrepreneurial, some otherwise. So that was huge, eye-opening for me. And then I also realized that a lot of the stuff that I've been going through has been parlayed into me being able to be a good businesswoman. Like, not for nothing. I mean, I only have one kid, but when it's, going to school functions or chaperoning field trips or doing whatever, like you got to manage personalities, right? Or you got to learn how to negotiate and get them to do what you want to do. Well, all of that applies to business and stuff too. So I just was having these moments of clarity at that conference of like, oh my gosh, this is a thing. And then the linchpin hit. And it was this one conversation I was having there with the three women who were also on my panel, but we were just mingling at this pre-party. And I realized, like, we kind of were all saying we've had great mentors. I mentioned two of them, Michelle and Cindy, but a lot of my mentors have been men as well. Jeremy is one. He's been my business mentor. Glenn, Glenn, he's been my podcasting mentor. But I always have to filter their advice through my reality of being a mom. And I realize there's so much more power if we don't have to filter, because you're getting the advice from a mom. So
Mhm.
it's like it just all suddenly made sense of like, let me
Light
build this
bulb.
community. Yes, let me build this community and this network of women who can mentor each other, who can help each other find and discover these superpowers that they are building through motherhood, and then figure out how to apply them to what they're trying to do, and support one another, and not have to filter the advice through their lens. Just all made sense. And I have felt so called. And as I've been pulling it together and talking to different women, mothers who resonate with this, I'm having people reach out to me because they saw what I was putting out there as my mission, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, can I please be a part of it?" I'm like, yes." So it's resonating. So that's why I did it, because it is so hard. I mean, mothers of all sorts, this is hard, right? Of course, I have a special place in my heart for single moms,
Of
but
course.
it's tough. Um, no matter what, it is just hard. And the more that I think we can help each other, the better. So that was my motivation. Yeah.
That's so true. And of course, mostly single moms. I feel for that too. Um, Again, I was raised by my dad, but so that's a different story. But there are also some any mom, like just being a mother. It's
Mhm.
sad because let's be real. Most of the fathers they think raising their kids is like a part-time job. Like they call it babysitting. I'm
Babysitting.
babysitting my child. They're like,
Like, no,
no.
you're not. No, you're not.
And I feel like for those who actually have partners who are like that, it's like now you have another child as well because you have to parent your partner as well. So, but
Yeah.
you are right on saying that because I've had a lot of friends who are moms, and I've seen them switch their life once they got kids and go a little bit harder, like the hustle life, like being an
Mhm.
entrepreneur, going harder for things. And they say, because because of my child, I want him to see
Yep.
that
Yep.
life is better than this. So in essence, at one point I was like, maybe I should get a child. I should get pregnant so that I can go harder in life. Because I
It's
was
a
feeling
total
like
business hack. You heard it here, folks.
I was feeling like maybe I'm so mediocre. Like I'm already stressing about this little shit, but the people we kids, but they're going way harder. So maybe I should have a child because you know, a push. Because your child is literally a push. Yes, it's a hard thing raising a child and doing all that. But you mentioned some key points where the tools you use in raising your child are the same tools you end up implementing in the entrepreneurship
Absolutely.
because you learn how to negotiate with like kids are not easy, especially once they start saying no and yes and knowing
Mhm.
like at some point you even want to be like, man, I'm gonna break you right now. I know you're my child and I love you, but I'm gonna break you. So you need to have strong negotiation skills. You need to learn to say no. You need to learn
Yes.
to be patient and when not to be
Yes.
patient and when to know all those things which apply to your business.
Yes.
Because
I'll give
go
you
ahead.
another example. A friend of mine, April, who's part of our community, she is a mother of a teenage boy on the spectrum who's nonverbal. And so one of the talents that she's developed, one of the skills, is body language, learning what he needs and wants by interpreting his body language. Well, imagine being in a meeting and being able to just that extra communication that maybe the person on the other side doesn't even realize that they're doing, but she's
Mm,
now picking up on that information, and she's going to be a better negotiator, better business person, better able to serve her client because of that skill set. So there's so many different things. And the more women I've talked to, it's interesting how many times they say, well, it hasn't, I'm a mom, but what does that mean? And I'm like, let me tell you what it means. And once I start laying it down, I'm like, okay, yeah. And sometimes I find, and it's been so frustrating, but I'm happy that I've discovered this, because now it's like I getting on my freaking soapbox. I get so frustrated that too many mothers don't value the work that they're doing themselves as a parent. Like, it's not appreciated as not enough in society. It seems like it's just the status quo. It's just what we're supposed to do, and so it doesn't get appreciated. Certainly not down to the detailed level. But I mean, you're managing an entire household. You have, all these different appointments and extracurricular activities, and there's homework, and there's this and there's that. You have to make sure the groceries are on point, the budget's on point. Like, you're managing basically an entire company under your roof.
exactly.
And so too many women don't appreciate that strength in themselves. My family is going through a little bit of a tricky time right now, and I said something to my father that he said was really encouraging. I just said to him, I said, listen, focus on what's most important. You raised a daughter who's strong enough to raise a kid by herself. I'm like, I got that strength from you. And I'm able to acknowledge that within myself. And I want more women to be able to, there's no reason to shy away from praising yourself as a parent because
No,
you're a damn good one.
that's so true. First of all, it's amazing how you assured your dad like that. You know, sometimes fathers, especially when they see strong daughters, right? They feel like they don't feel like they had a part in it. They always think it's mostly the mothers. But
Mm-hmm.
I feel like sometimes, depending on who your father is, like I know most of my strength comes from my father. So
Mm-hmm. Same.
so when they get to hear that they love it, but also that's why I love what you're doing with the Power Moms Network, like you doing this, and you're always picking for moms, especially single moms, and empowering them. Because it's true, I really hate it when I hear somebody just referring to them, I'm just a mom. No, you're not just a mom. Like
It's the most
that thing
important
breaks
job.
it breaks my heart because if it was just you just being a mom, a lot of us would just be moms right now. But clearly,
It is hard.
you
It's
know,
hard.
it really is because, as you said, and by once your kids start growing into that, they start going into activities. In a week, they have like 6 activities you have to keep track of,
Yes.
and then the
Yes.
PTA meetings, the school stuff, and then the home grocery, and then making sure you're not feeding them cereal every day.
Yes.
You gotta prepare food and all those stuff. Like that's a lot. And then you still gotta remember yourself because you yourself you gotta take care of yourself.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
as you
Okay.
say,
Like
you sometimes have to ask like, did we shower today? Like, did I shower
like
today?
here's the routine. Okay, let's say somebody who's not a mom wants to do a special event. They say, okay, I'm gonna schedule my special event. I'm gonna announce my special event. I'm gonna sit down, go live. Hey, it's me. I'm live. We're doing a thing, right? Someone who is a mom. That's how they want it. All right, I got to check my calendar, make sure there's enough time for me to end this. Because if anything happens, if my kid calls in sick, nope, they're gonna be home that day because school's out. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. And the night before, they're gonna have this going on. So it's probably not a good idea for me to. Okay, that's do the next day. Then I got to figure out. Okay,
Doctor's
now
appointment.
and now that we're
Doctor's appointment.
right, and then okay, I think I can make it work when they're home because they're gonna be doing homework, right? That's the best that I can do. No, it's not because they're gonna be knocking on the thing saying,
Mom,
"Mom, I need
mom,
this, mom." I'm like,
mom.
ah. Welcome to our world.
And you see, I'm not even a mom, but I understand that because I'm observant and I see a lot. And
Yes.
again, I've babysat a lot. I've been around like when I lived in UK. Two of my friends, actually, one of them posted there because when I lived in UK, I had this guy I was dating and I lived with him. He passed away on the Monday I was coming back from Podfest.
Oh
Very
wow.
sad. Yeah, but he was married. He has 3 kids. Like he was such a great guy. But his sister was pregnant while I was at that time dating the guy and staying with him. So from her last pregnancy, the last few months, to when she went to the hospital, to when she came back, and she was still in school at Coventry University. So whenever she had classes, I was the babysitter. They
Ah.
used to live in Coventry. I used to live in Birmingham at that time. So it was like a 2-hour drive. So they'll call, hey, Paula, tomorrow I have a test. We can pick you up tonight. Can you come stay here and take care of the baby? I'll go. When I went back home, like a few years back, and I went to visit them and see that kid, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I literally carried you and baby. And she's so grown. So I
Yes.
saw how much, and she was going to school and she was doing this. And the man was useless, but then we were kids and whatever, but the men were useless. But they're married, you know, whatever, expect is doing good. But that's when I realized how men are useless, no matter when it comes to really helping you with a child, they are really useless. Like
So
really.
there are a few really good ones. I
Yeah,
will say
yeah.
that there are a few
Oh
really
yeah.
amazing ones out there. But I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done. A lot of
Oh yeah.
improvement. That I
Oh yeah.
think,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
And
a
even
lot of
there are like some who are really perfect at it. I've met some amazing, incredible up to date that. And then there are those ones who like they know they can be better, but they're just like, well, since she's not asking for more, why should I bother, kind of
And
thing.
it's interesting because as a single mom, I, the phrase, the grass is greener on the other side. I used to always look at married women who are, propelling forward and doing all these amazing things. There's some women who've been in podcasting for less time than half the time that I have, but they've been able to accelerate further, faster, at least, because of having those extra hands on deck, and because at the end of the day they get the encouragement and all those things that I completely was lacking. And so I was like very envious in a lot of ways. And since doing Power Moms and having conversations that are much more rooted in this common thing of motherhood, and being able to talk on that level with so many different women, I realized that married women still feel the same way, still feel a lot of the same pressures and frustrations, and they do have a lot that I didn't, but there's still a lot of the same core frustrations and needs that just aren't being met. And I think probably a phase two of building Power Moms is trying to help raise awareness on the other side, so that it's not just us helping each other, that we're alleviating a lot of our burdens, because we're communicating to the men in our lives and our other family members that we just need some help. I mean, for me, I it wasn't just a situation with my son's father, it was the whole family, and I needed more support than I've gotten. And so I'm hoping that phase 1 is gathering us together to support each other, but phase 2 will be
Awareness.
helping, awareness, exactly.
And that's the thing, because people, I've literally seen husbands tell their wives, because again, I'm one of the last friends who's not married or doesn't have a kid, because all my friends now like, and I'm looking at them, and when I stand, I'm like, and you want me to join this club? Like,
Yeah,
it don't look good over there.
you're not selling it well.
You know, because literally our husband will say, well, I didn't know you wanted help. You didn't ask. You didn't say, like, man, I got, you wanted, like, it's your responsibility. Sometimes I'm
Yeah,
just like,
yeah,
and not only on the husbands, but this also comes to family members. Like, you support, like, I hate when people wait until you have to ask for help. How about you just go and say, hey, how can I help? Yo, let me babysit, and you go have a
oh
few
my
hours to
god, that'd be
yourself.
so nice.
Like, but it's like, I didn't know you needed help. Oh, you didn't know? Okay, cool. Yeah, thanks. Well,
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
so I'm glad that you have a face of awareness, because awareness
Yeah.
really needs to be there. Like, we are lucky, and that's not to say that. And sorry, man, I'm not bashing you. To be honest, I'm just saying that even though sometimes your heart is in the right place, you just need to put more action into it than the words, right? So
Hmm.
I feel like having the awareness out there for men to know, because I remember my sister came on my podcast and shared about her postpartum, depression and what she was dealing with, and I I made sure I sent that to the men, and I'm glad that her husband recognized and was very supportive and helpful, because
Wow, yeah.
most men lose sight of that. Like, they just feel like you've been sleeping out, because postpartum is
It's
real. It's
really
there.
tough. Yeah.
And you can't do anything about it. And my sister literally was like, Paula, there were some days I didn't even know that I wanted my child, and I felt bad
And
about
it
that.
feeds on, yeah, and so it feeds
Yeah,
on itself. Yeah.
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 So when I sent it to a lot of men, like, one, two, two guys came to me and they're like, "Yo, I'm so glad you guys had this conversation, because my sister went through this, and I didn't know what it was. I just thought she was just being lazy, or she didn't want a child or something." I'm like, I feel like that's why these conversations need to happen, because that's how men really are thinking. Like, oh, she's just lazy. Oh, she don't, like, no, it's real. It's
Mhm.
tough.
Mhm.
You didn't push a baby. You didn't. Your hormones are not the ones that are messed
All
up.
over the
And
place. Yes. 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 So the more that we can not just raise awareness by having them hear us, but also by helping other women learn how to advocate for themselves better,
Yes,
in their
yes.
relationships. Yeah.
Yeah, because some women, and that's what's sad about it. They just allow it to happen, either to avoid conflict or because also that mindset. Well, I'm a mom. This is supposed to be my job too. Especially as we were grown up to be told that the woman is the mother and runs the house and has to do the housework and all that. So men also grew up thinking that as long as I provide, have to cook, clean, or do all this shit. No, you're gonna do everything as well.
If I'm
Especially in this
providing, you're providing, you're cleaning, if I'm cleaning.
especially in this damn age where women are kicking ass and being badass
Yeah.
boss women, like, no boy, go to the kitchen and make some food. You're gonna sit here and watch take care of your kids, not watch your kids. Take care of your
I mean,
kids
honestly,
while I go do this, handle my
that's
business.
that is love. And that's not love the emotion side. That's love in action. Because if you actually love your wife, then pay attention to what her own personal dreams and goals are and help run a household that allows her some space to pursue those. That's
That's
love.
so true. And that's why I remember when I was emceeing a track at Podfest, right? And because some of my speakers were finishing a little bit early and I didn't want to start the other speaker before time. So I was, I was in my element. I was
Yeah,
deciding to entertain.
ad
I decided
libbing,
to have I decided to
Paula
have
it
my
up.
own there you go. I decided to have my own open mic, right? So I was just engaging the crowd, and there were people there there were women who had their podcast because I called people up, especially first timers. I love my first timers at podcast. I want them to be feel included and loved so that they can keep coming and bringing more people.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was like, first timers, come out on the stage and share your show and tell us about your experience so far. So they would come and two
That's
of them were
awesome.
like, it was one of my proudest moments. I was like, I can't believe I did that, So two of them came out and both of them had their partners with them, but they're the ones with their podcast. They're like, oh yeah, he just came to support me. So I even shouted out. I was like, any partner here who's here supporting their spouse, especially if it's a female spouse and then your partner is here supporting you, shout out to you for being here because I love to see that
Absolutely.
the world needs more of that. We need to be more support. You need to support your woman in her dreams, just like because women be holding it down for this man. Like we hold
It's
it
so
down.
true. It's what was the phrase? Behind every successful man is a good woman, right? Well,
Yeah.
let's flip that a little bit, okay?
Yes.
Can we
Go.
say it behind
The
every
women.
successful woman is a good man, right?
Yes, the
Like,
women are
I'm
tired of
sorry.
being good. They want to be the.
If you saw in my highlight reel from Podfest, there is a photo of Patrick in there literally carrying my Hello Kitty case of equipment. Okay, that is a good man. You're carrying my Hello Kitty case.
He was everywhere. Like that's why I was like, oh my
Whipping
god,
out business cards left and right before I even had a chance. This was
I was
great.
like, I love Patrick. Jamie, you gotta make sure this doesn't go anywhere. Because if you guys break up, I'm Team Patrick. I don't know. I love you, but I'm Team Patrick. So you got you
Duly
got make
noted. Duly
you got.
noted.
If you don't want to lose me in your life, you gotta lock it down. We need more Podfest weddings. So I'm just saying.
Right, Andrew and Celicia, we need to part 2.
All right. Oh my God, we already. So before we get off, let the people know what to be for the moms out there who are interested to learn. First of all, I'm so jealous. You and Jen Hardy make me so jealous. Like Jen Hardy with her 50s club and they're all dressed up and looking good and enjoying. I was like, I want to be in the crowd. I know I'm not 50, but I want to join. Just like Power Moms Club. I know I'm not a mom, but I don't like being left out in amazing
You know what?
crowds.
In the future, I can't say what it is yet, but in the future, there is going to be something we're specifically doing to bring into the community the people who are advocates of Power Moms. So that can definitely be you, my friend. Definitely be you.
I'll be the ambassador advocate for Power Moms Network.
There you go.
I'm trying to be an ambassador for every shit. So.
And every time you need a little more motivation for your business stuff, just like grab one of our kids and like take it for the day.
I'll be like, y'all can drop your kids. I'll babysit for y'all. Go and do some power mom
I need
shit.
some motivation today, guys. Bring me your children.
I need to hustle and grind. So please let the mothers out there who don't know about
Oh,
Power
right.
Mom Network and how to get into it and what to expect from it and all the amazing
Yeah.
stuff you're about to do with Power Moms Network. Because I
Yeah.
believe it's a flagship for Power Moms, right? So go ahead.
Yeah. So Power Moms Network, I'm purposely did not call it a podcast network because it's really much more about the community. The podcasts are just going to be a portion of the content, key portion of the content, but we're going to be growing it and including content creators that are YouTubers, bloggers, et cetera. But the point of it is to create a community. I'm saying university. No, it's not a university. A community that fosters mentorship, mother to mother. And I really want moms to join so they can discover all these amazing skills they have that they're underappreciating and undervaluing, and then parlay those into the things that they want to do for themselves. And that's not a selfish ambition, but to make yourself a happy woman is going to make yourself a better mom and all the things. So I want women to join in. And I also want to really emphasize this. We mean all mothers, single moms, moms who have children out the door, mothers who've lost their children. All mothers can be part of this group, and it's completely free to be in the community. So go to powermomsnetwork.com to join, and you'll get our newsletter once we start putting it out. Get our newsletter, and then we're going to start having all kinds of special events. So go there and also join our Facebook group. That's the thing that's the most active right now. We're kind of just getting off the ground, but let me tell you, the women that I have involved in my advisory board so far who are going to be in our leadership for this community are absolutely phenomenal. So one thing I want to say, like I mentioned, mothers of all kinds, but the second thing I want to say is this. Don't think, I don't know if this is me. Every mother can be a power mom. Every single mom can be a power mom. So just because I mentioned Michelle, who owns co-working spaces, or Cindy, who runs TEDx Boca Raton, or so-and-so who does this, that, and the other. Like, don't look around yourself and think, I don't know if I'm power enough to be yes, you are. Yes, you are. And bring yourself to our community and let us help you discover all the ways that you're amazing and all the superpowers you have, so you can propel yourself into amazing successes. So that's what I want. It's the community I wish I had 10 years ago. So powermomsnetwork.com, and also look us up on Facebook.
Thank you very much. And especially if you're the mom thinking that way, this is the group to join so that you can stop thinking that way. Because, hey, baby, you really, as long as you're a mother, you got it. Because the strength you have is insane. Like, I have a friend who we went to school together, and she was one of my first friends to have kids, and she has 4 kids, and she has been doing it by herself and killing it and working, and she went back to school. And every time I see her doing something fun, I'm like, you deserve it. You have earned it. Like, allow yourself to enjoy, because I feel like sometimes mothers also feel guilty about enjoying life so much, or they're wondering, if I'm outside doing this, what are people going to think about me because I have kids? No, you having kids doesn't mean your life is over.
That's
No,
right.
you also
That's right.
You need to fuel that energy to bring back to your kids, because those kids can run you.
That's
So
right.
I'm constantly telling my friend, like, I am so proud of the person you are and the strength you have, because it's not easy. It really isn't. Whether it's 1 kid or 4 kids, it's not easy.
Amen.
All right. Now, before we go, you are also, you are a mogul. You are a powerhouse, right? So let the people know about Flint Stone Media and also about the Florida Podcast Network.
Thank you. So, all right. So Flint Stone Media is my company. It's a podcast production house and consultancy firm. I've had it since 2014. We have helped tons of people launch their shows from scratch, and also brought on people who have existing shows, and also just help them improve their shows. So it's through coaching and consultation. It's through high value, high quality production work. But also what we do is, it's not just the podcasting element to it, because though we've been industry leaders and we've been helping propel people in these ways and propel the industry forward as thought leaders, it's also my business background, my legal background. I was a data analyst for 15 years, website designer developer. So I have conversations with you that really help me dissect your business, your network, your goals, and all those things, and create a show that's going to propel all that stuff forward. So we have an amazing track record. This is so my jam. I love podcasting, but just a little bit more. I love helping people's dreams come true. So what I do is I put those two things together and I make magic. So come join me at flintstonemedia.com.
Love it. I mean, who wouldn't want to be around a high achiever? You know, she received the high achiever one. Look at those stats. Like,
I
come
didn't
on
realize
now.
you put that on the screen.
Come on now. Come on now. We got to brag about this power mom. Like, come on, mom. Look at that. But I was curious. What I need to get in on this. When I just saw the word beer when I was reading your bio, and I was like, whatever what that is, I'm in the craft beer marketing award. Do they give beer? Is there a word shaped in a beer? Do you drink a lot of beer?
So it looks like, and I still need to order it. I never ordered the actual
because I just found out yesterday on when Dominic was talking in the clubhouse room yesterday, we were talking about awards. I just found out that when you win those awards, you really have to pay for them if you won the actual stage. I was like, oh, okay.
I like it better than having to pay to enter yourself. That's great. I didn't have to do anything. I just found out I won. I'm like, this is great. But yes, I do have to buy if I want to afford.
Because you have to, because most awards you have to pay to enter, then pay to get the award. I'm like, it's expensive out here.
But this one's pretty cool. It looks like a forearm and a fist crushing a beer can. So it's pretty cool. So, and especially
to order that,
especially because I grew up in beer warehouses, not because we were poor and homeless and that's just the best we could do, but because my dad was in the beer distribution business for like 20 years. So beer has just always been part of my background. So the guy who hosts the Florida Beer Podcast, David Butler, I was a fan of his blog for like 4 years and then helped him start his show. And here we are. We've won an award together. It's pretty fun.
Nice. You know, I'm a fan of beer. If you saw me at Podfest, I always had a beer in my hand. Like, it didn't matter what time of the day it was. I had a beer in my hand. Shout out to the Moped boys who decided to bring a whole. What are they called? Oh my God, I forgot.
I don't know.
Where you put ice, cooler. Beer.
Oh my gosh. Sounds amazing.
And 40 over 40 in podcasting list in 2022. You're killing it. So y'all, you need to surround yourself with people. You see why I hang out with people like her? Like I'm trying to elevate my game. You can't elevate your game if you're not hanging out with the right people. Plus the energy. Just look at the energy. Thank you, Jamie, for bringing it on.
Thank you, my dear.
Before we go, what advice do you have for those moms out there who don't think or feel like they're as powerful as me and you believe and see they are, and then let the people know where they can find you or connect with you?
I want to say there's a lot of power in the little moments. So these little moments, everyday moments that you probably don't even pay attention to anymore, try to take more of a conscientious look at them and realize what you're actually doing. And what I mean by that is, let's say you're just ordering groceries, getting your grocery list together and stuff like that. Well, you're managing a budget. You have to think about supply and demand. Okay. Right. So literally think about what those skills are that you're actually dialing into and start listing them out. Okay. Because I guarantee you have them. And if you don't think you do, email me, Jaime at flintstonemedia.com, and I will talk some sense into you. Okay.
She sure will. She was talking sense to my glasses at Podfest. She was like, "God, what's going on?" And I had to tell her a whole story behind it, but she sure will get you correct, okay?
But Paula, it has been absolutely amazing chatting with you. I knew I was going to have a wonderful time because you're Paula, but oh my gosh, I can't. So thank you again for this amazing hat. I have it with pride, and now I've lost focus again. Look at me, but it's
I
awesome. So
know.
thank you
I'm surprised
again.
Jordan is installing it from you.
He tried. He totally tried.
You're gonna have to send me your address. I need to send Jordan and Patrick one. Just because Patrick is my brother. I have a brother called Patrick.
Oh,
Who,
do you? Oh, that's right. You told me that.
that's
That's
why we
right.
took
Yeah.
that picture of me
That's
and
right.
Patrick.
Yeah.
I have a love-hate relationship, but now I found a Patrick I actually love. So
Aw,
we're gonna
you got
replace.
it. Borrow him any. Well, no, don't borrow him anytime. I'm gonna take that
No.
back. Never mind. Take that back.
Okay, before we get out of hand over here, thank you all for tuning in on Shit Happens. For those who are watching us live and for those who are going to watch a replay, we had a fabulous time. And for all the mothers out there, this is for you. Please go join the Power Moms Network, because I believe everybody needs a community and a support system that will help elevate their game, because you got it. Sometimes you just need somebody to point it out or
Yes.
to show you what you can do. And that's what also I love about Podfest, because when I came to Podfest I didn't know shit or anything. And look at me now, 3 years after Podfest, I feel like I'm the shit, because I'm the
You
shit.
are. You are. You are.
But it's because of surrounding myself finding a home in communities that pour to me as much as I pour to them. So they're out there, go hang out with them. All right. Thank you all for tuning in to Shit Happens.